listening to The Building Code, your guide to a better way to run your business. I'm Tom Houghton.
Still getting used to those new intros.
Oh, it threw you off. And I'm joined by my co-host, Paul Wirth.
Tom, I hear something in my headphones.
Yeah, that's right. That's the buzz at the International Builder Show in Las Vegas.
Big buzz happening here.
A lot of buzz.
You know, this is our, we didn't talk about this, but we're just going to go with it.
We're going off.
Whoopsie daisy.
Off script. Big surprise.
This is the exact location of our first recorded episode ever.
It's true. This geographical coordinate.
Right. One year ago. 1 year ago.
1 year
Look
ago.
how far we've come. Hey,
Yeah.
Congratulations on our year anniversary.
Same to you.
It's been great.
We'll celebrate later.
It's felt like a breeze.
Yeah. Just flown by.
Just like, yeah.
That's crazy. We've got a great guest lined up for us today on the podcast. Let's introduce her. Her name's Jenna Kimberley, VP of Kimberley Development Corporation. Welcome, Jenna, to the podcast.
Welcome. Thanks for having me, guys.
Hello, Jenna. What are you the VP of?
Vice President of the company, of
okay.
Kimberley
So-
Development
yeah.
Corporation.
So just overall.
Just overall.
Yes.
Yeah. She's not messing around.
Couple of VPs here.
Yeah. Hey, there you go.
We've just got the one. They're just stuck with me.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Fantastic.
Good for you.
Is this your first time at the International Builder Show?
No, I've been before and actually met with you guys before, and that's how we became introduced to become users.
Awesome. That's a
Fantastic.
great story.
That
So
is.
The RV works.
It does.
And the jumbo screen.
Oh, so for those who don't know, who have not visited us at the show, we have a huge RV. It's a problematic child in our company, but it's big, it's wrapped in our colors, and that's kind of our trademark now at the show. Except for this year, and Tom's introduced a Jumbotron LED screen, which, by the way, looks amazing.
Thank you, Paul. Appreciate
Yes.
that.
Yes,
It's
it's
pretty
awesome.
good.
So that's awesome. It's a great story, though, because we're here for two reasons. One is to introduce people to Buildertrend, which worked, and then two,
Yes.
to see you, our clients, and talk to you and understand, are you having issues with the software? How can you get better? Here's what we can do for you. So it's good. You're
Absolutely.
here. Every year,
Yeah.
let's do this.
Yeah.
To date.
Fantastic. Well, we always start off wanting to get to know our guests a little bit better. So why don't you tell us a little background about your company? And I think we could probably skip the idea of like what name, how you got the name of your company, right? Just because
Yeah, from
hopefully,
birth.
yeah, that one is a permanent one.
Yes,
right?
couldn't change that one.
Good
Yeah.
story.
Okay, good. But just give us a background on, who's your company, who's your target market,
Okay.
Where do you build? Go from there.
All right. So Kimberley Development's an award-winning land developer, spec and custom home builder, and commercial contractor. We're based out of the Des Moines area and have one of the largest operations there. We operate about 18 companies under our Kimberley family umbrella, and we've been in business for about 42 years. Our target market started out as luxury custom homes, and we've since expanded it to getting into entry level and more things.
That's fantastic. How
Wow.
many job starts are you guys doing a year?
We do right around 100 a year.
Wow, that's
between a few
fantastic.
different entities.
That's
So
great.
you guys are the big dog in Des Moines.
Oh, we're not the biggest, but
Okay.
but we're one of them, and
You're
we've
the
been
best,
around
though.
for a long time.
Okay, that's great. So 18 companies. Like, what do you mean by that? Like, what are the examples?
We have a government contracting company, a commercial construction company, a remodeling company, and a land development company, and quite a few other offshoots from those companies.
Just to help support those ones?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So is that challenging for you guys to have so many different ways you do construction, to have a process for everything?
It is. It's a lot of balls in the air at the same
Right.
time, and that speaks to why processes and things that you guys do and bring to the table are so important, because it is hard to keep it all straight some days.
Yeah. That's one thing we always talk about. Well, we talk about adoption of software in your business. It's not easy, especially in construction.
Right.
But I think what would make it easier if somebody had like a workflow for every role, right? That's what
Yes.
people lack today. Like when you go into a construction business, it's like, yeah, I don't, Bill does everything. Go ask him. But if it's a project manager and our company does this, here are the steps, this is where they do it, then you can just plug and play. Helps with the labor shortage.
Right.
It's
Absolutely.
important. It's cool. Good. Well, that's really interesting.
So you mentioned it's a family business.
It is.
What's that like? What's the dynamic like of that? Has that provided any challenges?
Oh my,
So
Tom,
it
getting
sure
really
has.
personal here.
Hey.
Don't get me fired here.
Yeah, let's not.
So it's my dad's company. He started it when he was 21 back in 1978, and he was your stereotypical baby boomer entrepreneur. He was the genius and the brains behind the entire operation, did every role, and didn't really delegate that many of the tasks. And as a result, he built this company, and he's the reason it's so successful. And I see my role as second generation to basically take what's in Bill, my dad's head, and get that down into a process, get it on paper, get it on software, so that it is something replicable that we can do in his absence and still succeed into the future. Because second generation businesses only have a 30% survival rate through that
Didn't
second
know that.
generation. Yeah,
Wow.
it's low. So the odds are stacked against you already. So you have to do something different in order to make it.
That makes total sense. Your dad's name's Bill. Did I use Bill as the example earlier?
You sure did.
Whoa.
That's
I just thought you did your research.
No, well, yes, of course.
yes. Paul always.
I'm a big
does his
research guy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
big research.
Big studier. That's really great. That is a great point because there's so many construction companies that are second, third generation. You got to have an exit plan if you're a business owner. A lot of times that's to your kids. But that's crazy. It only survives 30% of the time.
Yeah, and third generation's like 20% or something,
Wow, I didn't
something
know
even
that.
lower. So
Wow.
Don't fax that shit. That's cool.
That's
job.
good. Yeah. So you have the home side of things, but then you also are tied into your local NAHB board.
I am.
So can we talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, definitely. So I just got elected in November as the second vice president, which basically means in 2 years I'll be the president.
Wow.
And I am rounding out an all-female cast, essentially, an all-female leadership. So,
Wow,
and that's
impressive.
the first time actually in our country that's ever happened. So for the National Association of Home Builders.
That's great.
That's
So-
incredible.
We need more women in construction, and
Yeah.
that's a really cool thing you're doing.
Yeah, that's really great.
So what does it mean to be on, like, what are your responsibilities? I don't know. I don't know. Like, if you're
On
a
the
vice
board?
president or then you're a president,
So essentially it's to lead the organization for your tenure. And we've got a lot of initiatives from getting kids involved in the skilled trades. As you guys know, we have a major labor shortage.
Yep.
From my standpoint, I see the easiest way to get that done. We've got women make up over half the workforce, but yet the construction industry, women only make up 1.3%.
Yeah.
What?
So it's crazy, right?
That's a crazy
Isn't
stat.
that horrible? And they're out there, they're working, but I think that stereotype of construction is for men keeps women away. And I think as an industry, we aren't doing enough to advocate, train, recruit, lobby for women in our organizations. And that's really something we're trying to change. Actually, within Kimberley Development, we're over half female, and there's been times where we've been majority female. So we're really looking to change that and looking to get kids involved in the skilled trades at a younger level and take away that stigma that construction is kind of a less savory or less viable career.
Sure.
Because
Yeah.
we've got people coming out of high school working in our trades, and they're making way more than I earned after my 4-year degree.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, absolutely. Well, yeah, we both have daughters.
Yes.
And I think it's important to empower the youth and kind of change that perspective of how you look at things. It's a big battle though you've got in front of you.
It is.
So any plans of tactics? How are we going to encourage the women of construction to step up and to grow?
Well, I think that things like this, by us breaking this barrier of being the first all-female-led leadership team in the NAHB, it just takes seeing that. You've got to see that because that's never even been done before. So now girls don't. That's not a trail that needs to be blazed.
Sure.
Your daughters can look at it and think, well, yeah, of course I can.
Right.
Just like someone who, look at our presidency. Once we get a woman in there, then that won't be such a hurdle anymore. But until it happens, you're unsure about that path, and you don't know about that path.
Sure.
But I think that us getting involved in our local communities, we've done a Build My Future event that attracted over 2,000 kids. We had it at our Iowa State Fair.
Oh, cool.
Kids were doing everything from masonry to climbing telephone poles and doing all sorts of elements involved in our trades because it's such a wide variety of options and
Sure.
careers.
Yeah.
And so we're really trying to get kids at a young age before they've written it off.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So we had Brandon from Iowa Skilled Trades on. Is that somebody you partner with and you guys collaborate on this
yes,
stuff?
so we collaborate on all of that together.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's a
Brandon's
really,
leading the pack. He's great.
Yeah, that's an important organization. I mean, I think that to your point, male or female, we need the kids to understand that it's a very viable career. It's not backbreaking work. I mean,
Right.
technology like Buildertrend is making it more and more feasible for anybody, no matter what your strength are. I think that's really what the men thing comes from is like, you got to be lifting stuff and hammering stuff. I mean, it's not necessarily that.
Right.
That's it. That's
Yeah,
cool.
it's 2020 now, right?
Got that
We've got
2020
like
vision.
exoskeletons that can help us lift massive things.
What does that mean?
I went off on like a tech tangent there. Sorry.
Stay in the lane. There we go.
Exoskeletons.
I
We'll
don't
bring
know
that
what
up in
that
a future podcast. Exoskeletons, they're the things, they're the robot arms that attach to you and legs, and they're helping lift.
You're just talking about a movie now. Like, that's
No.
Transformers.
Well,
I'm pretty sure
kind
that
of.
was in a Spider-Man movie.
Yeah, that's
That
exactly
is
right.
Octavius?
Dr. Ock. Very good reference
Ooh.
there. But CES was just here in Las Vegas.
Yes.
And Delta came out and said they've just created these new robot exoskeletons for their employees to help lift bags on the plane easier. Because some of us, myself included, don't know how to pack light. So you got to make sure it makes it easier. And of course, I think this is a natural progression into construction, right? So having these things, to help make construction easier, right? That's what we're all about here at Buildertrend.
That's what we're all about, a better way.
Better way to do it. So anyway, sorry for that really random tangent.
Exoskeletons, and we're going to put a picture of that in the show
In
notes.
the show notes.
Yeah.
Tom wearing an exoskeleton. Let's make that happen.
Oh, yeah, that's great.
That's fantastic. Okay, moving on. You're really involved in your local community and you're doing a lot of work there. What's the next phase look like to you? What's 2020 and beyond look like for you? But let's speak first to your company. What's kind of some goals that you're trying to set for this year, if you don't mind sharing them?
Yeah, so goals for our company, we actually just had a Buildertrend on-site
Okay.
Oh, cool.
2 weeks ago or so, and I had gone to Buildertrend University back in May, and that's really a game changer. I'd encourage anyone that if you're interested in Buildertrend, that's the best way to kick it off. And so with the on-site, our goal is really a year from now, we're using the payment system, the QuickBooks functionality, that we're really becoming a majority user of all the many features that are offered. That's the difficult part. You guys come out with so many new features like every day, it seems like, that we can't keep up.
Yeah.
But there's so many great things that can streamline and reduce the headaches, the redundancy, the tracking. I'm looking for those data points that are provided in the reports so that we can make better business decisions in the future, so that we can scale and grow. Because with a labor shortage, you've really got to learn how to use the tools to your advantage so that with the team you've got, you can do more and expand and grow as long as our market allows it. So
Yeah, that's awesome.
The
So you
crowd
guys are-
loved that answer.
Yeah, that was really
Nice.
good.
Yeah.
Cheers. So you're looking to expand in terms of just revenue and number of jobs, whatever, within Kimberley, and just diving deep into Buildertrend, right? That's kind of the goal.
Yep,
It's
that's
good.
one of our top line goals this year.
Good. People feel bad. Like, they'll come up to me at the show and they'll go like, I'm only using a few parts of Buildertrend.
Yeah.
It's like, no shame.
This is kind of, I feel like more recently this year.
Right.
I feel like already the conversations has been, I'm only using like 3 features or something like that.
But I'm saying they feel like ashamed. It's
Yeah.
like, well, you're like everybody, because it's hard to change a workflow. Not
Absolutely.
just build the trend out of it. So I was just talking earlier, like, you start small, and then you gradually just build on your feature uses, and you get people using it and used to it and part of their workflow, and they get it. So you're about to take the next step. That's good.
Right.
That's awesome.
That's really great. Shout out to our on-site consulting team there for stepping up and helping you guys out.
Yes. Zach and Ben were great.
That's great.
Cool. How many employees do you guys have?
We've got about 25.
Okay. And like, what's the ratio office to field?
About half and half.
Half and half. And did they all find something from the on-site consulting? Like, did we speak to the office people as much as the field people?
Yep, we did it in shifts so that
good.
everyone wasn't, ready to, shut everyone out after an hour in there.
Right,
but
yeah.
we had we did the finance stuff first because that was arguably the hardest and the most important. You screw that up, you're really you're in trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think our subs would like that very much.
Yeah, exactly.
So and then we had the field come in the next day, and it was really good, and we cycled everyone in and out enough to let them see what they needed to hear, but then give them that one-on-one time to work on things and work through some of the bugs and reasons why they've had some hesitations with the system.
Yeah. Far too many people, I've said this over and over today, day one of the show, I think people should get in the habit of calling or scheduling like a recurring meeting with our support team.
Yes.
Every month, just get on the books. And
Yes.
like, you can talk a million topics. And as you mentioned, we're always coming out with new features, little tweaks to functionality. There's plenty to cover. So set like a recurring meeting with us, and your team will really benefit from it.
Absolutely. I agree with you 100%.
Little tip there.
Yeah, that's great. So we kind of talked about your business a little bit. What's the future? What are you excited about for Des Moines?
for Des Moines.
Yeah.
And within the
Building
NHB
it.
year.
Yeah.
You know, Des Moines really come a long ways in the past 10 years. And growing up there, it wasn't a place that, you know, I thought was at the forefront of things. And now I went away, lived in New York City and DC. And by the time I came back, it's a place I hardly even recognize with how much progress, how much growth we've had. We've got a lot of great business, civic, philanthropic leaders in our community. And, you know, we've really been blessed by that. So
That's awesome. Lived in NYC and DC,
yes.
and you chose Des Moines.
That's right.
Yeah.
Des Moines kind of chose me since I was born there, but
Yeah.
but it's still good. It's still a good place.
Okay,
Des
good.
Moines is a great city. Have you ever been there?
I have, yeah. Quite a few times.
Well, because you have family there, right?
No, I don't have family there.
You don't? Oh, I thought you guys did.
Nope.
It's an easy trip for all Omaha
It
people.
is,
It's
yeah,
super
super
easy,
quick.
a couple hours, and
Yeah.
they do have a really cool downtown,
Yeah.
like sort of waterfront, right?
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yep.
Okay, cool.
Absolutely.
Shout out,
And more to come.
shout
Yeah.
out Des Moines, not Des
Moines.
Des Moines. That's
Looks
what
like
people say.
Des Moines.
Yeah,
But
there you go.
no. We're Trey Fancy on this podcast.
We're going down this path again. We're on a time crunch.
We are. That's actually
Great.
the time that we have. So
It was really awesome to have you on the podcast. And
Yeah.
honestly, kudos to you for all you're doing for women in construction.
Yeah.
It's a passion of our company to help further that cause as well. So
Yeah.
way to go.
Wonderful. Thank you, guys.
love what you heard? Don't forget to rate and subscribe to our podcast so you can hear from more guests that will benefit your business. Also, please check out our show notes page for more information on what we discussed on this episode. You can find it at buildertrend.com/podcast. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time on The Building Code.
Appreciate you.